have so much incredible work. I didn't know that you started out as not as an actress. You started out as a model first.
I did.
Yeah, and you were, and so how did the transition happen?
It's a good question. I ask myself
look
often,
at you! Look at your modeling
Wow.
composite shot. That's incredible.
Well, I was lucky enough. I was with Wilhelmina Model Agency here in New York, and I met one of the agents in Paris, and they said, "Oh my God, you're like the girl next door. Come to Paris." And I was like, "Okay,
Right.
I'm like a Brooklyn kid. Where am I going?"
But amazing.
And I told my parents, and my father said, "Here's the money, here's the ticket. I want you to go." I said, "You don't love me?"
Oh my God.
Why would you make me do that? Anyway, it ended up being a fantastic experience, and I have a fun story because only I could have a story that deals with prostitution and Catherine Deneuve.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, let's do it.
So I live in this really nice area, and I share an apartment with a girlfriend.
In Paris.
In Paris.
Okay.
And Avenue Victor Hugo, 22. I don't know why I remember
Right,
that, but I
amazing.
do. So I'm going to a friend of mine's house, and he asked me to pick up a dessert. So across the street from my apartment is Le Nôtre, which is like a very fancy schmancy pastry shop. So I pick up a beautiful cake, and I have a cake with the string around it and everything. And I'm waiting at the bottom of my apartment for a taxi. So, there's no taxis, it's dinner time,
Right.
It's always a problem. All of a sudden, I have like 10 cop cars come at me, and plainclothesmen, policemen jumping out of the cars, and they're screaming at me in French. And I'm like, okay, we got a problem here.
Yes, you do.
Right.
This is a problem. Because it wasn't just one, there were like 10 of them.
You're surrounded.
Surrounded. And I'm like, okay, now I speak some French, so I'm
Okay.
like, okay, what do you want? He goes, what's your name? And I said, Lorraine Bracco. And he goes, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm going to my friend's house with my cake.
With my
to-
Right.
To dinner. You're working here. I said, what do you mean I'm working here? I'm standing here trying to get a cab to
Oh,
go
you're
to
working
dinner.
here.
Working. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we've seen you before. I said, well, I live right here, so I guess, you would. So this goes on for like 10 minutes, and finally, one guy turns around and pats him on the shoulder and said, I think you made a mistake.
Right.
But meanwhile, I'm sweating.
Sure.
I can't believe it. And I'm like, what do you think I work as?
Right. What do they think you work as?
And he was like, and I said, you think I'm working like sex working? And the guys turn around. Meanwhile, all the other guys, they're laughing now. They're like, they realize they got the wrong girl.
I mean,
I go to the dinner. Now I'm absolutely beside myself. I don't even know what to say or do. I arrive late with the cake, okay, because that was very important.
Right. You still have the cake the whole time.
The cake got me out of it,
Okay,
let me
good,
tell you.
right.
And so I arrive there, and there's a very nice dinner party. It's about 10 people, and Catherine Deneuve is there. And I tell her I tell the table why I'm late. I said, they thought that I was a hooker, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what that word was in French.
Right.
It was just crazy. So I tell the whole story, and she turns around, and she goes, what do you do? I said, well, I model. She said, no.
besides being a prostitute, what else do you do?
She said, what do you do? I said, I model. She says, no, you're an actress.
Wow. My gosh. Wow. That's like a christening.
So I always remember, like, yeah, okay, Catherine, yeah.
Not a
That's
bad
me.
person to suggest that you become an actress.
That was crazy, but it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.